All right, have and have not fans. Now, this is probably my last video of the day in terms of recording. I've done way more talking than I planned to do. I actually did a bunch of little stories on my have and have not Instagram. And it's kind of funny whenever I do those little segments and I actually come up with theories I never thought about. But I touched upon this briefly in my video about is Candace Young like the next Michelle Obama or whatever I titled that video. And it has to do with Charles's running mate. I made the joke about what if he's like a Joe Biden sort of character. That would be pretty funny to bounce off of Charles. But there are a lot of questions we just don't know about it. And I guess it goes to show that the more we get into season 6 and season 7 with the Charles and Candace storyline, the more people will meet from Charles's side of the block, in terms of we've never seen or heard of his running mate. We know Jeffrey Owens is a senator, so him and Charles most likely have a past together. And, we'll just meet more of the staff in the office. And as I did in my other video about is Barack Obama the president in the show, we do know that a president and first lady are cast. So the question is, who is the running mate? And that led me to the theory about, is this really a trap? And it's not so much of it, Candace and his team is in land and they're setting up Candace so she takes the fall for the Quincy Maxwell murder and all that stuff. I don't think it's a trap. I feel like it is a trap, but not what we're thinking of. It's not the kind of trap that's going to be used for Candace to get all the punishment that she's deserved for everybody she's conned. So it's like, oh, Candace Young is going to be the first lady to Charles, but oh no, she's going to be arrested for all the crimes she committed. I think the crime is that all that glitters isn't golden. Like, she's been hesitant, but then when she finally lets her guard down, that's when she gets hurt. And I don't think it's going to be so much Charles hurting her. It's the fact that that lifestyle is not what she wants at all. Like, she'll have the lap of luxury, but then it's not what she expected. I mean, Landon did say, politics with Candace's cutthroat attitude, once she gets the hang of it, she'll master it. I'm not saying that she won't, but I think the journey is not going to be good at all. I mean, it's not going to be easy. And I mean, keep in mind here that, like I said before, we don't know who the running mate is. We don't know much about anything in regards to Charles's political team. For all we know, what if the vice president of, or let me just say Charles's running mate, what if he's attracted to Candace and he tries to make a move on her and, Charles is okay with it? I don't know. Because, I mean, remember when we first talked about this stuff on the channel a while back, like Candace being first lady and whatnot, and just using her sex appeal on all these people. Like earlier this season, she robbed a former member of Congress or a governor or whatever it was. And it's like, oh, well, we know that she's irresistible to men, but there are just probably some big perverts in the White House and whatnot. And I'm not really going on that tangent. All I'm saying is Tyler Perry has a way of taking elements of a real world and putting it into the show. So can you imagine Candace being used for favors and whatnot? Can you imagine that, like, Charles trying to get a law passed or a bill passed and whatnot? And it's like, well, in the Senate or Congress or whatnot, they're like, well, if you let us bang your girl first lady, then maybe we'll let it happen. And it's like, look, Candace, this bill can help so many people. And it's like, Charles, I am not a tool. And then it turns out, if she doesn't comply, the only way to get out is that she either leaves in a body bag or she just mysteriously disappears. I mean, we saw that Jim running for governor had the Malones in his back pocket. And with Charles, we got straight up Secret Service and who knows what other connections. So I'm just saying, Candace might be living it up for a little bit, but then it's all going to come crumbling down. And it's not so much of her being arrested for the whole murder stuff. Maybe Charles will use that as a ploy. It's like, well, if you don't do what we ask, we could just have you put in jail for, the murder and whatnot. But I think that's a bit of negligence on his side. That'll make him look bad if it turns out that he ended up in the White House with a murderer. So I think it's probably more of the blackmail with the murder, possibly. But I would say it's more in line of these people disappearing. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I really never dove into this because you all know from the start I was not a fan of Candace being first lady because it seemed like a ridiculous storyline, but it seems like they're actually moving forward with it. So when I take that into account, I'm actually shifting my gears to look at the possible storylines Tyler Perry can create by putting Candace in that situation where everything that looks, all that glitters isn't golden, which harkens back to season 1 when Jim was a rich, you know, judge and whatnot, but he was miserable as hell. And then Candace on the flip side was wanting what Jim had. But then once again, as the viewer, we saw that the haves are really the have-nots in terms of not having soul and whatnot. And then the have-nots are the ones that have, you know, family and love at the core. So yeah, that really is season 1. I think that John Snyder even mentioned that in an interview way back when during season 1, and I'll probably play that clip to close the video out. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, and let's get the comment section buzzing on this one. I really want to get your thoughts on who do you think Charles will have for a running mate. Do you think Candace will actually be able to I guess you could say blend in or mold or, you know, acclimate herself into the lifestyle of being first lady? Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, as well as leaving your thoughts in the comment section below so we can keep the conversation going. On the left hand side of the screen, you should see a picture of Jeffrey Harrington. You can click on him in order to subscribe, but also hit the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content. Also, you should see some videos appearing on the screen as well that I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy if you enjoyed the one you just saw. But also, be sure to follow me on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links to all my social media will be in the description below. And in order to help this channel hit 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to need your help. So make sure to share this video as well as the channel around with all of your friends on your own social media. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next video.